Hello again, everybody. So let's go over this how to do a worksheet with drawing on the computer using Google Sheets instead of doing it freehand. And if you don't know, Google Sheets is just like Excel. So if you have Microsoft Excel, it's the same thing. So a lot of the stuff is there for you. But we're going to go through a tutorial quickly. Hopefully this will help you learn how to draw on it. And I just make your life a little easier when we do these things. So, for example, this worksheet, supply curve. So you had this from Classroom. You've already made your own copy. You've renamed it with your name and supply curve. There, it's good to go. These things are already preset in there for you. So I've already made everything, and you can see there's the L-shaped graph we're talking about. Our labels are available for us to put in and everything. The problem is you're thinking like, well, how do I draw? Like, let's just assume we're trying to draw the supply curve, what it is. So S1. How do I do that, right? You're looking at your stuff up here and you're like, I don't see what to do. I don't know. This is where it changes a little bit from Excel, so just watch this real quick. What we're going to do is we're going to go click on the Insert tab. We're going to come down to the Drawing one. It should be the third one in this one. So click on the Drawing. Notice you're going to get a screen like this. This is where it's a little different, so do just follow here. This cursor is just cursor select. You can do shapes, you can add shapes, you can do arrows. You can do whatever you want. You can do equations, shapes, you name it, it can be done. You can put text box, you can put image, all that stuff. So what we're going to do is for each one, we have to do this. We got to draw our first line. So let's say for the first one, we're just trying to do it. We're going to select a line. We always want to do an arrow right now because we're not really predicting it. We're just showing theoretical. So we're going to click the arrow. And again, we're going to draw from the bottom left up to the top right. And there we go. What I would get in the habit of is changing the weight, so I would make it a little thicker. So I'd click on these and go to the 3-point there. And if you want to change the color, you can change the color there, which I will require you to do later. But right now, just keep it black. It's totally fine. Again, I made a mistake. Click too many. That's okay. I would get in the habit of this. While you're in the draw screen, always go to the text box here. We are going to include it there. And I am going to put S1 because we know that in our supply curves, we always have to have a label because how do we know which way it goes otherwise? Not a clue. And then I'm going to move it down here like that. Click off it. Great, it's there. I'm going to save and close. Here's the problem. It just drops it wherever on your screen. Now you're freaking out, but don't freak out. We're going to click on it here so it highlights in the blue box like this. And you see my little hand waving at you? We're literally going to drag it over to where we want it to. And then I'm going to reformat it down. So I'm going to size it down like that to where it fits on. And I'm going to click off, and boom, I'm done just like that. Easy money. Perfect. So we've done that one. Great. So now you know how to do just if you're doing one single one. We're going to go over to these where there's an actual scenario where it's going to require you to do a shift. So we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to go to Insert. We're going to go down to Drawing. Wait for it to load. And the first thing we are going to do is we're going to get an arrow. And we're going to draw our original S1. Always up like that. I'm going to change it to 3 because it's good to have it. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and label it because I think we should label it from the beginning. And I'm going to drag it over. So now we've talked about shifts. So I think you should do it on this one. So for example, if you think it's going to be a positive shift, you're going to put your new one here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pretend it's there. And we're going to draw it up. We are going to always change our weight. And a positive shift to me is green. It is not negative. Negative would be red. So I'm going to do green. Awesome. Cool. It's there. Take off that. Cool. And I am going to do this one. I am going to change this to S2. I don't care if you don't change the font to green. I'm completely fine with that. That's okay. But at least now it shows the shift. So I'm going to click Save and Close. And again, it's just in the middle where I don't want it. So I'm going to wait until my cursor hand is on it, showing the function, and I'm going to come up here, and I always know I'm probably going to have to resize it, reformat it down until it all fits in. There we go. Nice and beautiful. It's good to go. So I believe there was a price shift here, which shifted the supply curve. Therefore, I showed it on here and reflected it. You do that for each one. So obviously, if you want to do one with a negative, you would redraw it on a negative. Or if you think it's going to stay the same, stays the same. That's how we do the drawing. So I hope that helped you. Any questions, ask, but it's very easy once you get the hang of it, and I promise you will do great with it, and you won't have to draw like me anymore. So good job. Appreciate you guys. Keep up the good work. You're all rock stars.